want to see Final Fantasy VII come out, and every 3 minutes of gameplay, I have a pop-up ad. Like a mobile game, or that I have to put in money to continue. Like, I don't even want to see it come back to a quarter arcade. Like, I think we're beyond that point where it's like, I don't think I should have to put in quarters to play. I should buy the product and own the product, right? Like,
and here's the other thing that I would like to say, kind of on your behalf, and to be clear, not that you need to be defended or something, because your position is not offensive, it's reasonable, and that is that my answer to all of this always is vote with your wallet. The reason they do any of these things is because it makes money.
Right.
So if they didn't make money, they would stop doing it, which we have seen happen with where you've kind of gone away from the loot box nightmare, and now we're kind of in this battle pass phase, which I think that's going to eventually fade out too.
I'm sure it'll be replaced with something else. The problem is that there's... Well, no, go ahead.
Yeah, all I was going to say is just that you do that, though. Like, you hold this position, but you also don't go spend a bunch of money on loot boxes and then complain that loot boxes are unfair.
So that is correct. And there is also... There is a level of depression that comes with that I just have to deal with. So I don't buy EA games as much as I can. Which that's not even true. I could never buy an EA game because it's not like they're Oxygen or something. But for the most part, I try to avoid EA games. Because I don't like them as a company, and I don't want.
What's the last EA game you bought?
I don't know. Like, actually, fully purchased.
I don't think you've played an EA game in a long time.
I own there's somewhere over here to my side somewhere. There's a box copy of Spore.
Okay. Well, that's 2008.
Yeah.
So 12 years.
No, I think I did buy Command and Conquer 4.
Okay.
And hated it.
Yep. Isn't that the game we refused to name on the podcast that we did?
Crap! Nope. I didn't do it. Bleep it out.
I'm not editing it.
I'll edit this episode. No. No.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, so there have been a couple, but I try for the most part not to. But my point being is that there's actually a level of depression with voting with your wallet. Because, and this, I won't go into it, but I also do this with certain food purchases. There are certain foods that I actually like but refuse to buy because I choose to vote with my wallet. But I feel like I'm in the minority of people that will complain about something and then still go buy it. And that's a shame, and because of that, I feel like it's double fold. One, I'm not getting to enjoy something that I could potentially enjoy if I just spent $5 or $30 or $60. Not a life-changing amount of money, for me right now. Not that it's an insignificant amount, but and so I just don't get to enjoy the thing that I want to enjoy. Like, gee, I wish that publisher wouldn't have sold out so that I could buy their game because I really want to. And other people are enjoying it and having fun and whatever. Or a dozen loot boxes may get me the thing that I want, and then I can just enjoy it, and I've only spent $10, so it's not a huge deal. And so I like trying to take this moral position. It's not like it's a live or die moral position to begin with. So it's not like I'm trying to grandstand or use it to talk down to other people. I definitely try not to do that.
I don't think you've come across that way at all.
Good. And I generally don't try to in just day-to-day life. I don't go around harping on people that buy loot boxes. Like, I generally don't even talk about I don't care.
Honestly, the last time I remember us talking about it was probably, I want to say, it was either 2017 or 2018. I know that's it's weird to have that specific of a frame of reference. But
I know why. It was the lunches.
But it was the Shadow of Mordor game, and then like NBA K 18 or 19 or something. But yeah, because those games heavily incorporated loot boxes, not as skin cosmetics, but like as part of the actual just progression,
like the whole game cosmetic. And of course, I'm also heavily against anything that's mechanically tied. Which I know you are as well. Like, games that are tied mechanically to loot boxes or ridiculous amounts of microtransactions, pay to win type stuff, even in a single player game, is really frustrating. But yeah, I mean, and the other side of that is that, like, to my earlier point, is just that, like, I don't hold that up as like a huge deal. I don't try to stuff it in people's faces or anything. But it's also like, how much I don't feel like I'm winning the war by voting with my wallet, and I just don't get to enjoy some things. So sometimes it's just a double suck, where it's like this thing is still the most popular thing ever. It's still Coca-Cola or Disney or whatever or EA, and they're still a mega giant corporation. They're not dying anytime soon, and so it's like it's hard to keep that position. And again, it maybe just more people need to have that position so for the practices to finally change.
Yeah, this is going to get way too, and I'm. It's also unfair because it's too broad of a brush. But like, it's the same thought that I had when you mentioned the like kids, kids having weird social dynamics surrounding Fortnite skins, and it's like, it sucks because to me, like, the answer isn't that Fortnite shouldn't have skins. It's that as a society, unfortunately, that is actually our value system, and so the fact that the kids are subjected to that is really just a product of the fact that that is how adults in this country operate. And it's like,
I definitely agree that it's not Fortnite's fault that the kids are getting bullied.
Well, and it's like, it's too bad that there's just not someone that can, like, if, and again, this is me, and I'm not suggesting that kids that are bullied should just be more like me or something. There's a lot of reasons that go into why people get bullied. So I'm not trying to shame people for being victims of bullying or something. That's not my point. But it's like, like if I was that kid who didn't have the skin and someone tried to make fun of me for not having the skin, I would just immediately point out that you didn't do anything to earn the skin, though. It's just bought and paid for. And if you think that you're cooler because of something that you bought and paid, then I don't think you're cool, so I could care less what you think.
Right.
Unfortunately, in our society, that's not a conversation that's had often enough.
No.
And instead, people are told, like, yeah, you should care what they think, or yeah, I get it, that's tough. And it's like, but it's not.
I think the difference is there actually is the dichotomy of the fact that people are told, like, oh, words, don't let their words affect you. Like, it doesn't matter what people think about you. But the reality is people do care, like, or it does matter what people think about you, like, to an extent. And certain people, of course, matter more than others. But that's just a part of our society, and not that it should be. It just
that's my point.
And that's where I agree to you. Is that, but the thing is that we talk about it like it isn't. Like,
yeah, but I think that part of the, I get, and again, off the rails entirely now, but I think that I think that's why I push back so hard against the, like, well, they shouldn't have those then because it makes kids get bullied, and that's a product of our society, but we're not changing that, so we can at least change this. And it's like, but that's the problem, is we're never talking about the real thing.
Right.
Because we're talking about these skins when the skins aren't the problem. The problem is that people don't know how to have any self-confidence to say, I don't care what your invalid opinion means, because it's not a valid opinion.
I think that no, I 100% get it. And I think that it actually, it ties the closest that I can to kind of trying to get this a little wrapped up, is that it ties back to a conversation that we had off camera, in which people want the fastest solution with the least amount of change or input. They want, minimal input, maximum profit. And changing all of society is a lot harder and takes a lot longer than just taking away the Fortnite skins. It looks like, and it's not the solution. The taking away the Fortnite, it's not at all. It won't solve the problem, but it looks like it will. Right. And it'll solve that problem in that immediacy of that one kid getting bullied or whatever. It doesn't solve the greater problem of bullying. It doesn't solve the problem of,
which is, and I promise we'll go on after this. But
I do have other things I want to bring up.
I know, I do too. But it's funny because to say that it's hard to change society and easier to change that one company is true, except that it's easier to change your own mind about how you perceive people around you than it is to get the company that make Epic to change Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
So it's like, I don't know.
I don't think, but again, that perception is not one that many people hold.
Right.
So it's, again, we have to change society to get more people to hold that position, just like we got to change society to get more people to vote with their wallets.
I'll tell you what, we're starting with this episode of the podcast. You people listen and you tell other people to tune in, and we will end. No, again, I don't mean to paint over bullying with a broad brush.
No.
There's real tragedies that exist from that. There are, and there are a lot of examples of that aren't just something as silly as Fortnite skins.
Right. Now, there are much bigger societal issues, and we're not here to get into all of those. We definitely want to kind of focus on why gaming matters and why it's important. I think that there are pieces of this that are important and that are related to gaming, and I think it is the responsibility of us as gamers to see and stand by those pieces in similar ways that, anybody who upholds values is tied, in some way to the values that they uphold.